contain hopelessness is slightly differing on people to people, person to person. We're all just a splitting out or a fractured out materialization of separation between the whole collective, between the whole quantum realm. So we are all different frequencies, we're all a puzzle piece.
Spirit, thank you for being here. I have a message for us today, and the message is Jesus Christ is raising you up to a new level of magic. So this is for those of us who are identifying as a chosen child of God, of Yeshua, Jesus Christ, and we love the Lord, and we're on a spiritual ascension. With the Lord, and we're coming through, we're coming out of limiting beliefs and old mindsets, and it's kind of a long process, and some of us have had to come out of religious households or just the Christian community. And so we have only come to connect with God through these standard Christian beliefs. And so some of us chosen ones, we are spiritually gifted to where God has given us unique gifts that are going to change the paradigm of the matrix. And we have been targeted and attacked by the enemy, by the God of this matrix since birth. And we have been demonized for our spiritual gifts. And so a lot of us are, we're all on different levels of our journey. And so some of us are coming out of a very difficult spiritual awakening that involved shattering the old paradigm of the religious Christian upbringing that we were in, and of the, really of the King James Bible. That's what I'm currently learning right now. And there's a book that I'm reading right now, and I'll tell you guys about it later because I think it's really awesome. If you're resonating, if you're in this collective, you might really like it. But anyways, it can be a really, really scary process, and it's one that I think a lot of chosen ones are not able to come out of because it's just too much of an old program to where it brings up centuries and centuries of fear. And it's just one of the scariest forms of awakenings that I think we can have as a chosen one is trying to rise above the belief that our spiritual gifts are actually demonic, or that we are, practicing, we're practicing something evil. We're sinning by using our spiritual gifts to practice divination and magic and even witchcraft. And that word is just oh my God, if you have really come out of this religious kind of environment, then you know damn well that it's extremely hard to get away from that feeling of just of the most frantic fear that could ever really be experienced, I think, okay, in your spiritual ascension, I think. But, we all come from different places as well. Some of you guys are coming from the opposite kind of the spectrum, where you were taught from the beginning that there's something very wrong with Christianity and that we should just practice, the older practices, being in tune with nature and all that stuff. But anyways, this is for those of us who are really dedicated to coming into our promised land with the Lord. We have come into an agreement, a covenant with God, with Yeshua at some point, and we are not playing any games. We are not going to stop rising until we have come to this place that God wanted us to come into. We have served God the way that, in our fullest capacity. And we have utilized these gifts, okay? So some of us have come out of a very difficult spiritual awakening, and we have unlearned some really deep, old beliefs, and we have begun to really practice using our spiritual gifts in faith, even though we have like all of the religious, demonic forces against us telling us that we're evil for doing this. We have come to a place in our faith with the Lord to where we are not stopping and we're continuing to rise. And so the Lord is very proud of us, okay? And the Lord is actually bringing us into a new level of magic. And this is because we are not afraid to be at this level anymore. We are able to breathe up here. We have been released and freed from the old religious demon to such an extent to where we can be up here now. And so the Lord is showing me that a lot of us are going to start experiencing so many miracles and synchronicities and extremely magical events and things. And we are in motion at this time. So there is this like momentum, this increasingly powerful magical energy that is starting to materialize around us. If this is for you, and I think it is for quite a few of us in this collective. So let's see what comes out here. We have the Two of Wands. You know, I love this Two of Wands card in this Mystical Moments Tarot deck because of the image here, how it shows her carrying the earth. And this to me looks like the 3D earth, the matrix, and it's like the systems of the world. And these old ancient religious systems and just, all things of the world. And then she's looking at this moon, this very magical celestial body that's out there, that's further than what she has in her hands, that is not necessarily tangible, but it's there, and she believes in faith that it is a place that she can move toward, that she can realize the illumination of this moon, this very magical illuminated energy, and even though this is all that she's ever known, okay? And so male or female, this is for all of us. And so this is why God, and I'm getting that her eyes are set on the moon, and she's decided that she's not going to stop rising, that just because this is all she's ever known and all she's ever been taught, that she's going to release the fears of the old traumatic energies of the ancient religious dogma, and she's going to work through these extremely difficult energies to ascend to this very magical, illuminated, wonderful place that is full of the light of God, that is satisfying to her spirit, because she cannot be satisfied in this world with these worldly ideas and these religious ideas. And within this, Christian matrix or religious matrix, she can't be satisfied with these energies, okay? Even if she were to become like a prophet and do things like in her spiritual gifts, she would still be stunted because she knows that there's more power and more spiritual authority and illumination that's out there that she's being stunted from, that she's being blocked from by these old, evil, religious energies. And so she has decided to ascend. Hell or high water, she will do it, and no matter how scary it is or whatever, because she believes that she is a child of God. Okay, this chosen one knows that there's no place on earth that they could go that would separate them from the love of God anyways. Even if all of this, ascension and illumination stuff was of the devil, like, King James wants you to believe so that you don't experience your spiritual power and authority. Even if it was true, she's still going to be separated from the love of God anyways, because that's how close she is to Jesus, to Yeshua HaMashiach. She knows damn well that ain't nothing under the sun ever going to separate her from God's love. And so she's not afraid to embark on this crazy ass ascension and to rise out of these limiting beliefs. And so this is something that God is recognizing and honoring, and this is something that God is telling you that you're about to be so magically just surrounded by magic in this new level. God is bringing you up into this new level because you've earned it. You have worked through those fears, and you are willing to let these old ideas go. You're willing, as hard as it is. And this doesn't have to be like old religious ideas. This could be old mindsets of all sorts. You know, this could be a situation of God raising you into a new level where you're going to experience so much magical love. And this is something that you couldn't experience before because of all of the limiting beliefs that were ingrained in your subconscious minds since childhood that you're not worthy of love. It could be something like that. It could be something that has to do with money and your career and things like that. But I think for a lot of us, this is a spiritual ascension, which is also connected to love and money as well. But this is something that we need to do because of our love for God, because we are chosen ones who are just totally in love with God, and that's all we want. All we want is the truth, and we just want to be closer to the real God, to the real God, and we know that there are so many lies around God, and so we're willing to just keep ascending. So, and keep ascending, and to keep going higher and higher and higher. Okay, like this person with all of these umbrellas just raising up higher and higher and higher. Okay, and so we have come into a new level. God has given us a new level to explore and to with new tools to work with and new knowledge and all of this stuff. And this is a very exciting time that's going to be full of all kinds of signs and synchronicities and magical spiritual gifts, physical gifts, tangible items that have healing energies and all kinds of, cool little things. And these are spiritual gifts of the mind, of, your third eye and your heart and the power of your energy and things like that. But I'm just being drawn to the illumination of the moon in both of these cards, and that we are going to be shining like the moon with all of the light of the sun illuminating our darkness, okay? We're going to be glowing out here as dark as it is, like the moon. And this is because we have not been afraid to continue ascending past religion and past old mindsets. Okay, and God is honoring us with a whole brand new level that is completely just full of magic. That's going to be so magical and just so fulfilling spiritually for us, okay? We have the sign of Taurus, by the way, if I didn't say that, but I'm just seeing that God sees us as his faithful children who are just not afraid. We're not afraid to run away and to, do things our own way and to break the rules. We are not afraid to break the rules, damn it. And God is seeing us as his little rebellious children who he just loves and adores. And it's like, I don't know, it's a very, very sweet image, okay? God is very proud of his little rebellious children. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, God. Thank you.
We're not afraid to rebel against the beast, against the system of the world, okay, that has tried to stunt our spiritual growth and keep us from God. And so a lot of us are about to become kings of pentacles. We're about to become rulers on this earth where we have money, just period. We're going to have money and land and influence over all kinds of stuff, and we're going to be blessed. And these things are going to just come about in such magical ways because we're now not afraid to experience the magic of God. We're not afraid of magic anymore. We're not afraid of these old lies. And so we're going to experience magical manifestations of all kinds of materialistic abundance in our environment. And this is abundance that's going to be growing just out of nowhere, just like these gold pentacles are growing out of this reindeer or deer's antlers. It's just going to be like extremely miraculous and totally supernatural and magical. And this is a gift. This is a gift for our lives, okay? And so God is about to supply us with a whole lot of stuff that we can use to create art and create just works that are going to further the knowledge of the collective and just to be creators out here. God is about to supply us with all kinds of materialistic abundance to create with. All right, so these are going to be very magical items, very beautiful, magical things that God is giving to us to work with. These are tools to work with, to create things that God wants us to create. Wow, this is amazing. Is there anything else? The Nine of Wands just flew out in the reverse, which is just a really beautiful image of us coming out of a very tormenting, abusive, controlling, evil, manipulative energy of a religious demon that wanted nothing more than to keep us spiritually stunted and controlled and trapped for the rest of our lives so that we would never ascend into knowing the God that is so much bigger than anything that pastors or religious teachings have ever shown us. Okay, this is something of very painful energy. And so for some of us, we experience even physical pain because the spiritual pain was so intense. And it was just one of the hardest awakenings to experience. You felt like it was an energy that really, really beat you up. It was very demonic and scary and just a whole lot of fear and torment from these old religious demons, okay? And so God is extremely, extremely proud of us. God is about to reward us with not just one gift, but a whole new level that's full of new gifts that are all magical things that we would never have been able to receive before when we were in this energy of just being trapped and tormented by these lies and believing that all of these beautiful magical things from God were evil. And so a lot of us chosen ones are born with these really beautiful spiritual gifts, and we have these very strong desires to delve into these, things. And then we're told by religious people that, oh, you're going into the occult, and oh, you have accursed items, and all of these old ideas, and it's like, God is again, God is setting us free to where we understand more about who Jesus really was, and that Jesus was in the occult and the greatest magician to ever live, and all these things. And so we're really being set free in a big way to where our gifts are now free to shine, and we're free to just completely begin practicing all of the things that our soul has truly been desiring to practice because of our spiritual gifts, because we're gifted with the gift of divinations, gifted with visions and sight and prophecy and all that stuff. And with energy manipulation and with miraculous things, we're able to perform miracles and be magicians just like the Lord Jesus Christ, okay? This is very freeing, and this is causing a lot of us to shine in our gifts and in confidence and boldness. And so this is part of God's plan to release us from the old religious matrix, okay? So that we can experience higher dimensions that are full of magical things of God, okay? Yeah, because we are high priests. We are chosen ones with extremely brilliant spiritual gifts. Some of you guys have been able to see that you've just known that you were gifted from a young age and you couldn't tell why. And, again, some of you guys were demonized by church people to the core, and it was so hard for you to step into the truth of who you are, which is a high priest who is like the high priest of the Old Testament, who is working with crystals and divination all the time, and magic all the time. And it's the highest magic that there is, because you are a child of God. And so just like in any other area of life, there are evil people and children of God and people who are in between, and they all practice things and their works can be a reflection of who they are. So yes, obviously there's like evil practitioners out there and evil magic and all that stuff, but anyways, you have been ascended past of all of these old fears and things, and so now you're stepping into your spiritual gifts like a real royal chosen one, okay? And so this is a new level. God is opening the curtain. God is also revealing you to the world, revealing your gifts, and revealing this new level to you that is just full of new magical experiences. So I'm going to leave it there, you guys. I think that was a really beautiful message. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So I'll see you in the next video. I love you guys so much, and God bless.
Hello everyone, how's it going? I'm back with another message needed here right now. Let's hop into it and find out what message angels have for you today. Hearing that people are constantly shocked and surprised that you have a whole different side that they haven't seen yet. I even feel like this is people that you've known for a while. I always say this, but you guys are my light workers, you are my healers, and you're constantly changing and evolving. Not only that, sometimes you are surprised with the way you react at things because, again, you are people that follow your intuition. So if your intuition calls you to react in a different way, that's what you're going to do. And not only that, you are constantly on a state of self-improvement. A lot of you guys out there actually are researching and studying ways to improve yourself. So of course you're going to react differently or try to react in a way that's best for that situation. And this pisses people off, especially people who are trying to get a reaction from you or trying to one-up you or win over you. At the end of the day, you're really not playing those games, which is moving intuitively. So they're never going to win. And I feel like there are times where people think you're going to react when you don't. There are times when people don't expect you to say anything and then you step in and do. And that makes people, again, very frustrated because they don't understand the game you're playing because you're not playing a game at all. I always tell you guys this too, you don't really think and operate in the ways that other people do. So sometimes it can be hard for you to believe that people are trying to one-up you or hurt you or outsmart you. So you guys are constantly just praying and just trying to be on the right path. And again, you're always going to be able to dodge plans that people have for you to one-up you or to even take you down. So just know that you have these other sides to you. So if you have certain moments in your life where you are called to speak up or you are called to react in a different way or even defend yourself, that's actually divinely orchestrated too. And I was saying this in one of the other messages, like sometimes there really is a time and place to stand up for yourself and fight back. I know a lot of you guys out there rather be passive, rather not involve yourself in that negativity and drama, and not because you're afraid. It's because of the fact that that energy can really take a toll on you. And of course, you don't really want to get yourself involved in situations you'd rather walk away from. But sometimes people really need your energy to stand up for other people or even stand up for yourself. And I feel like that's something you may have done recently or you are going to continue to do moving forward. So you guys, I feel like it's even a bigger transformation where you're being called to speak out more or do something completely different than what you were doing in the past. So if you are feeling called to do that, don't be surprised if you start switching up the way that you react to certain things or the way you communicate. And I do feel like a lot of this has to do with your own self-improvement that you've been doing. A lot of you guys have been doing healing work and realizing some of the ways that you reacted to things that you felt was best in the past may not be the best way to react now. I also feel like a lot of you guys have worked and got yourself out of situations where you felt like you were repressed or couldn't speak your truth. So I do feel like you are going to put yourself in an environment where you could be more yourself. I also feel like you guys may see this shift happening just all around you. People are respecting you more. And it's because you are carrying yourself in a different energy where it's like, yeah, I want to keep the peace. I want to lead. I want to do the best I can do. But at the same time, don't get in the way of what God brought me here to do. And you have that extra energy behind you because you know deep down that your intentions are good no matter what the situation is. But I definitely sense there's an energy here that is quite upset because they kind of pride themselves on being like super smart or someone who likes to be able to predict things. It could be because of their own ego, it can also be because trauma or whatever, but they want to be able to predict your next move and they never can. And even though this person may have some sort of attachment to you, it really bothers them that they can't control you or control the way that you respond to things. And that's another reason why this person may have a hard time having you in their life. This could be somebody that you had a relationship with, it could be someone that you are close to or a friend or even a business situation, work situation, where someone does want to be around you and they feel like you guys can benefit off each other. But at the same time, they're not running the show. They're not running the game here in terms of you. And that's something they really have to process and understand. I feel like this person has to do inner work to try to figure out why they are trying to have you react in certain ways instead of just letting you be yourself. And I do feel, again, that you have the power to expose people or end people if you really wanted to as well, but you never really use that power. But I feel like lately you guys could be speaking out or doing more, and it's really starting to scare somebody here. I do feel that we just had this like super moon. Some of you guys can be really feeling charged up right now. Again, my readings are timeless, so if you do see this at a different time, I feel like something could have happened around that time period, or just in general, you guys are one that when you are in a more emotional state, you tend to speak your truth more. Nothing wrong with that. But I do sense that some of you guys out there are a bit like that. You have periods of your life where you're really reserved and you're quiet and you just sit back and watch. And then you have time periods where you are out there fighting the good fight. And I feel like that is necessary sometimes, especially for my light workers and my healers, because you're not always going to be on supercharged mode all the time. You're going to be drained. You're going to be tired. You're going to be transforming. So again, you could have been on a low energy mode. You could have been on a charging your battery mode, and all of a sudden you're popping out now and you're speaking out and you're doing your thing. So I do feel that, again, it's definitely shocking people, and it makes people very uncomfortable that they don't know where your head is at. They don't know how you feel about them. There's one moment people think you don't like them, and then you're kind to them. There's one moment where people think they are being kind to you, and you are rude to them because you sense that there's something off about them, or you heard something. Like, you always find out exactly what you need to hear. That's another thing as well. I feel like, again, people think that you have some sort of gift where you just know everything, and I feel like, yeah, you do have a lot